Absolutely. So the next guy that we have coming up is actually local to us, and I was pretty excited that we had someone willing to drive all the way down from Wichita Falls, Texas, to join us in Fort Worth and then now Lubbock. So I am going to use the opportunity to give away a CD from another semi-local artist. His name is Gabe Choate. But the cool thing about this CD, and you're going to have to ask Jack Brassfield which song it is, because he told me, and I've talked to like 20 different people since. But Jack Brassfield actually has a song on here, and you guys heard him sing earlier tonight. I have this ticket for Van Joslet. I'm gonna sit this down. Actually, I'll wait for you. The next artist coming up, hands down. Usually we're like, what in the chicken scratch is going on? How are we gonna decipher which one actually won? And because the scores are so close, so close. This one was an undeniable first place for our semifinal last chance. This is Casey Pilgreen.
Well, hello, Lubbock. How are you? It's good to see you. I'll tell you what, a lot of y'all probably have never seen me or my band play, but we like it really loud. So whenever you get a chance, give me everything you got, okay? All right. All right. So I am Casey Pilgreen. I'm from Wichita Falls, Texas. Sure proud to be here in Lubbock today at the Cactus Theater. How about it for the Texas State Songwriters Championship? Isn't this an awesome event? I've got a round of applause for Cynthia and everybody that puts this on. There's a lot of work that goes on throughout the year before we can get to this stage right here tonight. So Cactus Theater, man, great place. I love this venue. This is awesome. Sure proud to be here. There's a lot of, I don't know if you know the history of the Cactus Theater, but there's been a lot of our heroes that have played on this stage. And, Gene Watson was just here a couple of weeks ago, maybe last weekend, and he's one of them, one of the greatest singers in country music. But, man, there's been a ton of them that's been here. So, you ever get a chance, catch a show right here at the Cactus Theater. You'll be glad you did. So let's have some fun. This first song I'm going to play for you is a song that, I've written all these honky-tonk songs for years for the band so we can travel up and down the road and play and do our thing. This first song is, you can dance to this one. It's a love song I wrote for my wife, Carmelita, right there on the front porch of the Pilgreen Ponderosa in Dean, America, right outside of Wichita Falls, Texas. Little tune called All Around Country Girl. My girl's about as happy in the back, pouring out the feed sacks to a bunch of four-legged girls. As she is in high heels, tight dress, Lord, she makes me a mess of diamonds, a string of pearls. She likes to go top down, riding round somewhere way out of town, wind blowing through those curls. Yeah, she's my designated driver, she's my all-around country girl. She likes to go downtown, shopping round second-hand stores in town, DIY kind of girl. Or she likes to stay home all day long, nothing but her PJs on, not a single care in the world. She's a go to church on Sunday, work on Monday, party through the weekend girl. Yeah, she cranks my tractor, she's an all-around country girl. She's got all kinds of license, from handgun to driving, hunting and fishing too. She even likes my dog. What's a country boy gonna do? She says we fit together like lace and leather. You could say she's my whole world. Yes, she's the one I love, my all-around country girl. Well, she can be a backseat all over me, steaming up the windows heat. Baby, I'll rock your world. Or she can be a rock star at the bar, rocking that body hard. But you wish I was your girl. She's a good kind of crazy, sophisticated lady, center of my whole world. Yeah, she trips my trigger, she's an all-around country girl. She's got all kinds of license, from handgun to driving, hunting and fishing too. She He even likes my dog. What's a country boy gonna do? She says we fit together like lace and leather. You could say she's my whole world. Yes, she's the one I love, my all-around country girl. She says we fit together like lace and leather. You could say she's my whole world. Yes, she's the one I love, my all-around country girl. Yes, she's the one I love, my all-around country girl. Woo! Betcha. How about that for some Texas country music? Just about everything in that song was legit. We lived that. I grew up farming and ranching, and we still do a bunch of that right there in North Texas, right there in Wichita Falls. And so it's nothing for her to be out there feeding cows in the morning and getting dressed up to go out to some kind of event like tonight, you know. So every bit of that's true. So you know, I grew up listening to all kinds of country music, from Hank Williams to Jimmy Rogers and a lot of bluegrass and Merle Haggard and, you know, everything in the world. And I'm still a big fan of story songs. How about y'all? Y'all still like a song that'll tell a story, right? Woo! You bet. Me too. Without a story, what's the point of the song, right? So you hear all these songwriters all the time that always say, man, this song came to me in a dream. I didn't even write it. I just held the pen. You've heard that, right? I ain't the only one. And I always thought, yeah, right. They're just up there. But hey, it happens. This song, it came to me exactly like that. It woke me up about 12:30 at night, and fast as I could type it down on my phone, this song just wrote itself. And it tells a heck of a story, so get your Kleenexes out. It's kind of sad. Little tune called The Broken Man. This old man came up to the stage one night. He said, son, you know any sad songs on that old guitar? I said, yeah. What's up? He said, I lost my son in the war. He was barely 21. In a firefight in Afghanistan, that's a war we never won. Sent him home in a box and laid him down to rest. A folded flag and some memories are all that I have left. So won't you play a sad song? Make it long and twice as strong, one that cuts me to the bone. Hey, won't you play a sad song? This might be the day that I let the good Lord lead me home. Won't you play a sad song? Then I noticed his hands start to shake as his eyes drifted down. He said, the one I loved for 40 years lays beside him in the ground. You see, she got the cancer. No, there wasn't any hope. Late one night, she lost her fight, and the angels took her home. So won't you play a sad song? Son, I find more truth in your words than at church on a Sunday morn. Hey, won't you play a sad song? This might be the day that I let the good Lord lead me home. Won't you play a sad song? So I come to this bar each night as a way to escape. I pour myself in that corner booth and I drink away the pain. And I go home to an empty house and contemplate the end. You see, son, I'd do anything to be with them again. Well, that's why I come here every night. I hope you never understand the hell it is of living life, a lonely, broken man. So won't you play a sad song? Make it long and twice as strong, one that cuts me to the bone. Hey, won't you play a sad song? This might be the day that I let the good Lord lead me home. Won't you play a sad song? How about that for a story song? You know, it took me a while after I wrote that. I thought, man, where did this come from? I mean, none of that stuff happened in my life, and usually you try to write things about life experiences, but I know that probably connects with a lot of people. A lot of people have been through that. Sure proud to have that one on the list. So, now, let's pick it back up a little bit. Let's get happy. Let's have some fun. Here's a song that I had back in 2008 whenever we still had the band running up and down the road. This is a song that they never would play on the radio. I begged and begged, but they never would do it. And I guess because it says something about cocaine and whiskey in it, and they, you know, today it's probably all right. But back then, no, we ain't doing that, Phil. That's what they tell me. I said, Phil, no. But you go to these dance halls, and this was a song everybody wanted to hear. So I hope you like it. Feel free to get up and dance and move or sing along, clap, whatever you want to do. But a little tune called Cocaine and Whiskey. And I know Cynthia's fixing to walk out there, and she's going to ask me, Pill. So she calls me in Wichita Falls as Pill. She says, Pill, what's your influences? And I'm going to tell you, my grandmother growing up, and still to this day is, the biggest Elvis fan in the world. So I got all that Memphis. And then I'm also a huge fan of Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. And I guess you can't tell by looking at me that I'm really a heavy metal guy at heart, right? So I like Metallica. And when you grow up living the life that I did, trying to rodeo and trying to be a cowboy, and you try to write songs to tell about all of that, you mix all of that up and you get a song that goes something like this, called Cocaine and Whiskey. Already feels good, don't it? I said cocaine and whiskey and dark black coffee. so I need to fuel my weary mind. There's miles and miles between the honky-tonks in Texas, and I'm moving on a two-step at a time. I've been rolling along about 80 miles an hour, just barely a time to stop for a shower, hit the town and rock all night again. Then we shut her down and we say goodnight and we settle in when our little party begins. With the cocaine and whiskey and dark black coffee, so I need to fuel my weary mind. There's miles and miles between the honky-tonks in Texas, and I'm moving on a two-step at a time. I'd like to song for a cheap fried steak, but the next 100 miles is just one way. Get fueled up and we're moving on down the line. Them highline poles look like a barbed wire fence, as we're rolling along like we got no sense. Hit the town and get your show started right on time. With the cocaine and whiskey and dark black coffee, so I need to fuel my weary mind. There's miles and miles between the honky-tonks in Texas, and I'm living on a two-step at a time. We live our life by the highway signs, gold black coffee and little white lines, trying to find our way up to the top. Now our bones are like a railroad track, as we move along, they go clickety-clack. In one of those days, it's all gonna have to stop. Not with cocaine and whiskey and dark black coffee, so I need to fuel my weary mind. There's miles and miles between the honky-tonks in Texas, and I'm moving on a two-step at a time. I said I'm moving on a two-step at a time. Hey, now I'm moving on a two-step at a time. There you go. Cocaine and whiskey. Thank you so much for having me. I am Casey Pilgreen from Wichita Falls. Check me out on Facebook and all kinds of stuff. I am the host of YouTube's Country Music Monday. We may have some videos from here. I'm sure we will. So check it out, all right? Cool deal. Yeah. Woo. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stiff competition. I hope you guys are using those pens and note index cards to take notes, because we're going to ask you who you think our top 3 winners are. Casey, how long have you been performing?
Well, I played music since I was a little kid. You know, you're growing up, and obviously you get into the school band, so I started about 3rd or 4th grade, and been playing music ever since. And when I was about, 16, 17 years old, I decided that country music's where it was for me, not playing this trumpet. You know, I need to play guitar and fiddle and write songs, and so I got one for Christmas, and I started learning, and well, here we are.
What inspired you to take your songs to the world?
Well, so I'm a huge Chris Ledoux fan, right? And I like old school Chris Ledoux, them old cowboy songs and stuff, and it was so cool. And there's so many of them, you know, that we've talked about today, that it's cool to watch these guys write these songs and go in the studio and turn them into something that we all know and love and ride around in our cars or trucks, whatever, and jam to. And we know every word of it, and I think it's cool, especially the ones that touch you a little bit. And, you know, it's just awesome, and I just needed to be a part of that. So for years, I wrote songs just for me and the band, and hoping that, you know, we could open some doors and get to play some bigger places, and we got to do that. And now we're just focusing on songwriting and trying to get some songs pushed out to some bigger people.
Who would you say influenced your style and sound as an artist?
So I told you she's going to ask that question, didn't I? Yeah.
I heard Metallica.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny. No, really, Merle Haggard is a big one for me, and Waylon Jennings, of course. And, you know, one thing that really got me into doing this was seeing people's shows like Chris Ledoux. Have any of y'all seen Chris Ledoux's show? Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You stand on the side and you watch a deal like that, and you want to be a country music singer, and you watch what he just did, and you're like, I want to do that. I remember I was in Oklahoma playing another band up there, and we were, I don't know, at some hotel, and that very first Garth Brooks special came on TV. You remember that from what is it, Reunion Arena in Dallas? And he came out and did his show, and man, after that I said, I want to do that. So that's kind of what got me going.
Well, as long as you keep going, then you're headed in the right direction. Y'all give it up for Casey Pilgreen.
Thank you. I appreciate it.